Welcome back to Turnin Hip Hop. Our next album that we're going to be reviewing is Migos Young Rich Nigga. The release date on this was 6/13/2013. The download on Dat Piff was 123,594, and on live mixtapes it was 3,927,479. That's why I wanted to read that. That is their 3 million. That is their downloads on live mixtape. I wanted to say that, because I wanted to get y'all reaction. I wanted to get y'all reaction behind that. So, how do you feel?
Hip hop is in a state of emergency. If that is 3 million,
and I think you got a track on that called FEMA. We need FEMA for this because that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So, y'all thoughts about how many?
Hurricane Gina.
What are your thoughts about them selling or getting downloaded that much? First of all,
I just think people need to wake up.
Hip hop is a state of emergency.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. And I respect the young brothers out there, getting their money and trying to do something. But 3 million, like, come on, man, we got 3 million people out there who's lost.
One thing I want to say is, to me, with rap, you do have the option to listen, not listen.
Right.
If it's your thing, it's your thing. But I do want to also let y'all know that there is awareness. Mm-hmm. They do have their first single, Versace. It's banging right now in the club. Hannah Montana. And to me, the very first problem that I have with it, and maybe I'm disconnected, is just, do y'all really like the repeated style that goes on in these songs? Like, it's a club, it's supposed to be a club banger, but do y'all really sit in clubs and just repeat this to yourself and don't think that you're looking like an idiot? Yeah. And this is just my opinion on it. Like, we had fun songs, back in the day, and like you have like MC Hammer would turn his mother out. Like, you did have club songs, but it has to be a point where it's getting too ridiculous.
Yeah, just a point of separation. Like, this is Migos, that the repeated style has already been proven not to work by Michael Jones. I think, he came on the scene with that. And he's gone now, and if they keep that up, that's exactly where they're going to end up.
And another thing I want to also bring up is how many times we're going to keep giving props to these white girls. Hannah Montana, Christina Aguilera, Miley Cyrus. Come on, like, can we find different metaphors? I know y'all want to trap, and y'all got that white. Yeah. And my other question to both of y'all is, the Migos and their style it seems like it's a trapping style, and just what they bring to the table, how they trap. What are your views on them rapping about how they style? First thing I want to bring up is Bando. It's a mindless track, talking about selling dope out of an abandoned building. Yeah. So, what are your views on that, B?
They trap rap. There's always a place for trap rap. There's always going to be those people listening to that. But I don't really think I'm not really expecting any innovation from these dudes. Thinking they're going to just bring what has already been done to the table. This mindless trap music, nothing that's going to push the boundaries of trap rap, say it's like a Pusha T or a Young Jeezy. I feel like they push the boundaries of hustle music and stuff like that. But I didn't expect that coming into their album, so it doesn't really resonate with me. It just sounds like another album that I just throw in the stash and that's it.
So you didn't like it?
Nah, not at all.
Coming from the time when we had a lot of lyricists, me listening to this album just didn't cut it for me. Really, it didn't cut it for me. I can understand listening to, like, the only thing really that gave me a deal with the Versace was with the Drake verse. That's really when I really listened to it. But then after Migos, that's when I realized who Migos were.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay.
So, question to both of you guys: why do you think that the Migos resonate to the masses? Because obviously, with 3 million downloads, they are resonating and reaching out to the masses.
I'm gonna say your word at best. It's dumbed down rap.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That is your word. It's better. It's dumbed down rap, and that's something people they can relate to. So if I'm thinking that they relate to this,
I mean, I really think, me personally, I think Drake had a big part to play in that. You know,
it was kind of pumping before Drake though.
Okay.
Versace was actually the story goes is Drake was actually listening to Versace and said that he wanted to do a song, and he just hopped on that song. So it was actually kind of pumping before then, and as of right now, like I said, Hannah Montana is actually banging in that club. I mean, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a spin. To me, throughout rap, we've always had those rappers that you could cling on to that did give a mindless, dumbed down version. Soulja Boy,
for the moment, yeah.
And Soulja Boy, who is somebody who actually does work with them. They kind of give you a simple beat and then a simple-minded hook that, to me, kind of resonates with the ladies. And this goes out to a lot of the fellas, because I think that now it's become not really a situation where the guys are actually picking the raps that we listen to. I think the women actually pick it and say, hey, this is what's banging, and you actually with this woman, and she done got into your mind, and you just try to come up with something and say, well, they are kind of trapping too. So, they listening to Versace, and then you turn around listening to Bando and thinks it balance out,
That's a good point.
I like that how you did that.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I really don't see any room for them, for too much longer. I think they got their run right now, but I give them about a good, couple more months, and we'll be on to the next thing.
And another thing I wanted to also put out there is I was looking at some of the other ratings that they were actually getting, and Spin Magazine actually gave them an 8 out of 10, which was real shocking to me, because I'm starting to realize or wonder, do some of these rappers that actually get ratings, are they really getting ratings, or is this just a popularity contest? Because now, sometimes I don't really think it's the music. Now I just kind of think, does he look cool? Do I want to be like him? Do I want to look like him? Like, sometimes it's starting to get to the point where I don't really think it's music. What do y'all feel about that?
I agree, and I would definitely love to read that review and see what points that they made on why they gave it that 8 out of 10. Because that doesn't make sense in my opinion. But
they 3 million strong, baby. They 3 million strong.
I guess the numbers don't lie, but that's mixtape sales. That's free. Anybody can do anything for free.
And I don't want to take anything away from the Migos, because they did have a serious point on there where they did do a song called R.I.P. Where they did a tribute to Pimp C and one of their fallen soldiers, and thank God outro. Yeah. So to me, it do show that they do think at times, and if they could just give us a little bit more, But hey,
and I think that's what rappers are. It's becoming like a formula. I think I remember there was points with Gucci, man. He showed signs that he can really put together a solid conscious song, but I guess they follow them dollar signs, and they come from nothing, and put money makes a lot of sense to them at that time in their life, and they just go with that.
And to me, they sound like a spinoff of Gucci Man anyway, just their rap style and repetitive style. So I'm just gonna say to our viewers, if you're listening to this and this is in your CD deck, please evaluate what you're listening to.
Right.
Like, there are so many other things, and don't get caught up in the 106 in Park and what you think is hot. Use your own mind. This is hip hop. You do have a voice. You don't have to follow the masses. Be a trendsetter.
And give us comments on why you like it, so we may understand why are you listening to this. So we can understand, because we are old heads, and music, we all come from lyricists, banging beats and stuff. So now, some of the music we listen to ain't making no sense to us. So, I hate the repeated style rap. I'm hating that right now. That's not.
Not really feeling it. Ratings on the album, Polo?
2. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a good 2.
Y'all better than me. I will not give this a rating. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I tried to get through it. Migos, I know y'all are an individual, and I give y'all much props for that, because every person deserves to be heard. Cannot give you no rating on this though, because it just wouldn't get played. I just have to be 100% honest, and if you do have this in your deck, like I said, evaluate to what you're listening to, because this mixtape to me was garbage.
There you have it.
And that's Turnin Hip Hop.